Hello, it's Greg Harrelson here with Contact Junkie, and I just wanted to talk with you a little bit more about reasons why people are failing miserably at internet-generated leads or all leads. You know, whether it be Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, home valuation tools, widgets that you generated leads from, PPC, sign calls. You name it. We are seeing that the ROI on these leads are very poor. Now, I'm not going to blame it on the quality of the leads because the reality is there are some people that have systems where their ROI is really, really good. And then some people don't have systems. They're generating leads from the same exact lead sources, but their ROI is poor. So we can't blame the lead quality for poor ROI. I think it has to do with other things that I'm going to discuss here. Let me jump right into it. Number one, and this is something we already know, so I won't spend much time on this. That is this. Lead response time is still too slow. You have to respond immediately. Now, I know that's a challenge. You could be on an appointment. You could be in a meeting. A lead comes in. You can't respond. Maybe you don't even see the lead because it would be rude to be looking at your phone when you're talking with somebody. And so you're not able to get to that lead for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours later, and all of a sudden they're non-responsive. You never get them on the phone. Now, we probably make up that the lead was no good and whatnot, but the reality is somebody probably already responded, so they're already engaging with someone else, and there's no reason for them to engage with you at that point. So don't take offense to it. It's just that people moved on. There are some solutions. You can use autoresponders. I think the consumer is starting to figure out that autoresponders are being used, so they're not responding as well. It's a declining segment of our market, I believe. And then, of course, another solution is ISAs. It's a little bit more of an expensive solution, but it is a solution, and I know it works very well if managed properly. But let's skip on to the second reason, and I think this is one that I want to bring most attention to, and that is the frequency of the follow-up to getting the first contact. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about how much you follow up with the lead after you've talked with them. I'm talking about how many times will you attempt to reach this person until you reach this person. Because we are right now generating hypothetically 100 leads and we're only talking to 40 of them. And then, out of 100, we make that initial call or email or text and we engage with maybe 40 of them. There's 60 that we never engage with. But maybe we make a second attempt later on during the day and we talk to another 5 or 6 of them. Now, all of a sudden, we've generated 100 leads, but we've only talked to, let's just say, 50 of them at this time. Well, what about the other 50 that we never talked to? What if we could figure out a way to generate more engagement, more contacts, and set more appointments out of the 50 that we're never even talking to? See, that's the challenge. We're generating 100 leads, but we're only talking to 40 or 50 of them. And the other 50 that we're paying for, we're never having an opportunity to engage. Therefore, all of that is a loss on our return on our investment when it comes to conversion. Because right there, your conversion is cut in half because you're only talking to half of the leads that you're generating. So an example of this is kind of what's common in the industry. A lead comes in, that's number one. And then what do? We call immediately. Let's just say that your response time is really good and you call immediately. Then you probably leave a message, but we don't necessarily get them on the phone. Then what do? You wait and see if they call back. And then we don't want to really call them again. We're not sure, or maybe you're busy during the day, so we're still waiting. And then maybe we send a text and then we kind of wait. And then we wait some more. And, we made a few calls and text them that day and nothing really happened. Now we start to lose confidence that we're ever going to get them on the phone. And we start to make up in our minds that they're probably no good. But I disagree. I think these people are very good. Maybe they were on appointments at the time you were attempting to reach them. So let's not make assumptions that they're no good. Let's just make an assumption that they were busy and we need to make additional contacts. But the challenge with making additional contacts is it takes physical time. And agents don't have time to make this many attempts on this many leads. So what I'm suggesting the solution is of course, Contact Junkie. But why I'm suggesting that is because we're automating the process. Where a lead comes in, we suggest you manually call them and you manually text them and you manually email them just like you're doing right now. But after you make 1 or 2 attempts and you don't get them on the phone, then throw them into Contact Junkie and let our drip system, let our system call them and leave messages. Let our system text them multiple times during the day. Let our system email them multiple times throughout the day. In other words, we believe that we should, a lead comes in, then you call it fast. Then you call it again. And then you actually text it. Now, all that should be done in the first 2 to 3 minutes. But what happens when you don't get them? We suggest through automation, you text them 2 more times that day. You email them again that day. Now, by that time, they're going to see how much effort you're putting in to reach them, and they're likely to respond. But out of the 50 extra leads, you may only get 5 or 6 additional responses out of that effort. So what happens the next day? Well, the next day, you manually have a hard time fitting this into your schedule. So what you do is you use automation, and there's a drip that knows what the frequency should be and what the message should be on what you should say when you should say it. So maybe at 9 o'clock, there's a text go out. And then at 10 o'clock, there's a voicemail that says, hey, did you receive my text? And then at 3 o'clock, there's an email. And then at 6 o'clock, there's another text. And then the next day, it starts over and over and over. See, we know that's the solution. But we also know that agents are having a hard time doing this manually, and they have to rely on automation. Now, are there other tools out there besides Contact Junkie that you can use? Yes, there are. So the value of Contact Junkie is this. I had this problem where I was generating so many leads, but we were getting so few people on the phone. There was so much lossage in leads that we were generating that we just were never engaging with. So in order to solve my own problem, my friend and I put our heads together and created Contact Junkie. Now, the importance of the technology is not just the technology itself, it's the content. It's the fact that it's an agent, myself, who has a large team of over 100 agents doing over 3,000 transactions. We actually built this for my agents to perform at a higher level in order to drive profits to my agents and also to drive the profits to my team and the companies that I own. So this is a technology and content system that was built to solve my problem. I had no intention to ever create videos like this in hopes that you all would join the Contact Junkie Nation and start using the systems for yourself. My intention was to build this for myself, and that's what we did. But we saw the results that we're getting, and we thought, hey, why not? If we're getting this results, we started having some of our friends beta test this in other markets. They started seeing the same results, exact same results. Then we just decided, hey, let's go ahead and open this up. So I know that's a plug, and I'm sorry to go ahead and spend so much time promoting it. And you know that I never spend time promoting stuff at this level. So if I'm putting my name on this, it's because I have used it. I've already proven the concept, and I know it works. It's proven to produce profits for us in my office. Let me go ahead and further my notes. Okay, the third reason. So let me be clear, I'm backing up. The second problem why people are failing miserably is they are not making enough attempts. It's taking anywhere between 8 and 11 attempts to get these people that we couldn't get on the phone in the first 5 minutes. It's taken 8 to 11 attempts to get those people on the phone. So again, if you had 5 leads came in today, 5 leads came in tomorrow, 5 leads came in the next day, by the time you got to day 3, you would have to make so many attempts to reach these people that you wouldn't have time to do anything else during the day. So I know that this is a problem. Hopefully I'm describing this in a way so you can get the problem and understand that we've already created the solution for you. Now, the third reason why people are failing miserably is consistency. See, you could take what I just shared with you and you could manually do this. But because the leads continue to flow in, and it's kind of a compound effect that, like on day 1, you have to make, you have 5 leads. So on day 1, you got to make 20 attempts. If you make 4 attempts per lead, that's 20 attempts. But on day 2, you got to make 20 attempts to the leads that you got on day 1, and then you got to make 20 more attempts for the leads that you got on day 2. And then day 3, you got to make 20 attempts for day 1, 20 attempts for day 2, 20 attempts for day 3. Next, you know, this is a lot of work, right? So you could do this for a few days. But what I see is people are having an issue sustaining that type of intensity consistently throughout the weeks, months, 6 months, and year. And it's consistently making that high volume of attempts that's going to get you engaged and connected with the 50% of the leads that you're never talking to. Now think about it. You take that 50% and you start to actually talk to them and set appointments and write contract and close deals. All of that is profit that falls to your bottom line and increases your return on your investment. So I hope you understand that there are people right now, there's so many technologies out there right now that are functioning and doing variations of what we're talking about. But the difference here is the frequency of the attempts, the technology is actually helping you expand your own bandwidth, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and then just pushing these non-responsive, these dead leads, pushing them to actually respond, engage with you so you can set appointments and do deals that you're just not going to do unless you use some sort of automation to do this for you. I hope this helps. Those are the 3 reasons why people are failing miserably. If you ever have any questions or content or want some additional information, you can message me, privately on Facebook, or you could feel free to go to contactjunkie.com and just fill out the form, send us your contact information, and we'll send you some additional information. Talk to you soon.